If you have processed over $100,000 using Stripe and you're not a nigga scamming people and you have zero disputes and you actually run a legitimate business, then I'm about to show you how you can make an extra $1,000 to $3,000 every day just by lending out your Stripe account. Like me, for example, if you go through my Instagram and my previous YouTube videos, you can see for the past 2, 3, 4 years, I've been running a content agency. And last June, I had a very low month, my lowest month. I did 2 to 3K profit USD in revenue. This July, I hit 15K. And as you can tell, I celebrated by renting the sick B&B in downtown Toronto. I got the CN Tower in the background. I hope you can see it. And basically I do this. I'm gonna explain the whole business model, but all you have to do is literally lend your Stripe account, and the only flow of this business is that it prints so much cash. You're gonna have problems with your Stripe getting frozen, your PayPal getting frozen, and your bank account possibly getting frozen temporarily. And as long as you stay on top of it, it's only gonna be temporary freezes. So let me get into all the details. So first of all, who am I? My name is Ahmed. I am some Egyptian. I was born and raised in Qatar, and I have been living out of Canada the past 10 years. However, the past 2 years, I've been just traveling all over the world. I went to Europe, I went to the Middle East, I went to Southeast Asia. And this business model I'm talking about with lending my Stripe, the first time I came across it was around 2 years ago. When I was in the Netherlands, some Mauritanian Muslim guy called Yestem DM'd me. And this guy, he literally, as of right now, he owns 3 Rolls Royces. He's building his 3rd mansion in the middle of the Mauritanian desert. He's a very good Muslim Mauritanian brother living in the deserts of Mauritania, right? He has no reason to scam people. He had me process a bunch of sales for him with my Stripe back then 2 years ago. And I made, it was an easy couple $1,000 profits. However, because I did a couple of stupid mistakes, I ended up losing the Stripe account. I literally lost my Stripe, and I ended up just getting, I believe it was WAP, PayPal, and Fanbases, and I just stuck with it with the past 2-3 years. I lost my Stripe account because of dumb reasons that I would make sure, if you work with me, I'll make sure you don't repeat them. And the way this business model works is basically we just connect e-com owners with Stripe account owners, especially Stripe account owners that have processed over 100K in sales and have a very healthy account with no previous disputes. Because if you look at e-com owners, a lot of the guys running $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a day in e-com products. Those guys, for them to be able to run that much money, they have to be very fast with fulfillment, with delivering their products out. And for them to fulfill, they need the money fast. They need instant payouts. And only Stripe is the only platform where they can do instant payouts with large amounts of cash with zero problems. And it works with every platform, whether it's Mercury or Wise or traditional banks. It accepts every single dollar and converts to every single dollar. It's the only platform like that. It has a full-on monopoly on the processing industry because of how good it is. Which, because of that monopoly, they also will freeze your account for any random stupid reason. And with e-com owners, if their accounts get frozen for even 24 hours, that's a big headache for them. The e-com accounts we work with, which in general we process $10,000 to $30,000 a day, which is a big number. You only make around 3 to 5% of that as profit, which, if you think about it, 5% of 30K a day, that's around 1,500 USD a day for basically doing nothing. That's around 45K a month you could be making on top of your actual business just for lending out your Stripe. And of course there's flaws with this business model. I'm gonna discuss all of them as we get into the video. But by lending out your Stripe accounts, you're saving those e-com business owners a lot of time by having them be able to do instant payouts and being able to fulfill their orders on the spot. Because if they can't fulfill orders and it takes their consumers, their customers, an extra 2 days to receive their products, such as, a lawnmower. The e-com owners we work with, they sell all kinds of stuff. They might literally receive disputes and just have their business lose out on reviews and stuff, which is why we only work with legitimate business owners, both with the Stripe account owners and the e-com owners, in order to make sure everybody makes money and wins. And a lot of it is built on trust, which is why I'm building this YouTube video. And also that's another reason why I have countless Instagram photos and reels and YouTube videos posted. It's purely to show you that I'm a legitimate person, and I would only borrow your Stripe account and help you make sales if I truly believed in it. And honestly, truly the biggest pro with this business is the fact that you will make so much much money to the point that inevitably you will face bank freezes, and you're gonna get questions from Stripe, from your banks about like how are you suddenly making so much money? How did you suddenly go from only making 100K a month to now making 600K a month? And then when you do that, it's very simple, by the way. All you have to do is just wait for us to receive the e-com owner's proof of fulfillment. Because usually Stripe and your bank account, they're just gonna ask for proof that you actually fulfilled your orders, that you actually live at your address. You have to send them driving licenses. You have to send them maybe even a passport. It's literally that simple, and you have to do it on the spot because we need the money to flow through like ASAP, right? And a big problem with the banks usually, traditional banks, they always try to freeze your money, right? Especially in Canada here, they like communists, they like to freeze your money. One big mistake we did that we're trying to fully avoid is just move fully into USDT. That way with crypto, with USDT, it's a stable coin that nobody can freeze. And also you don't even have to pay taxes on it. It's extremely easy to like evade tax on it. And with me, I haven't paid taxes in the past 4 years because to be honest, I just think paying taxes is gay. Unless you live in a good country like the US. If I wasn't in Florida, I would be willing to pay tax. If I was in Egypt, I'm Egyptian, I would be willing to pay tax. But here in Canada, they take your tax money and they give away free drugs and free LGBT surgeries. I don't want to pay taxes to this government, but I digress. And all these cons, all these bank freezes, if you have processed a lot of sales before, especially ideally if you've processed like $1 million worth of sales, $2 million worth of sales, you're not really gonna face them because your Stripe account, let's say we process 200K in 1 month. If you have $1 million in sales, from 1 million to 1.2 million, that's nothing. Stripe is not gonna flag it. For me, for example, when my Stripe account got frozen, by that point I only processed like I believe 200K in sales. When I went from 200K in sales to I believe it was like 250K within only 1 week, even though I made a lot of money, Stripe found that very sus. In all fairness, I did change a lot of my details. Like I changed my name, I changed my business landing page because I kind of got worried about things falling off my business. I wasn't secure for dumb reasons. I just didn't believe things to be true. I didn't believe it was that easy. And it was stupid mistakes like that I would make sure if you work with me and you lend me your Stripe, I would make sure you don't make it. Because we made a lot of mistakes and we always perfect our system. I'd make sure you don't make it so that you can easily make and process an extra 10 to 30K a day and earn around 3 to 5% in processing fees. You get 3 to 5%, which is again, it's around 500 to 1500 USD a day for basically doing nothing other than just making sure like you keep up with the bank. Whenever your Stripe account gets frozen, like you just submit them a picture of your driving license to prove you live at your house address and stuff. They make sure you're like just a legitimate guy and that you run a legitimate business. That's literally it. And by the way, if you found this interesting, like just from the first thing in the description is my Instagram, just DM me and I can give you more details if you have questions. And also about the 15K profit I made for July, I can't provide exact proof because also I do spend a lot of money I make. I'll pop up a screenshot. On my Stripe is around 2.5 in money, in cash, that it got frozen and I cannot get it back. So instead of 15K, technically I made 12.5K and actually it's 2.5K Canadian dollars that got frozen. So it was around like 2K USD. I have 2K USD frozen, so technically I made around 13K USD profit, but I made a couple of mistakes that would take too long to explain, such as I couldn't do instant payout to my Canadian bank because my Canadian bank is honestly like pretty horrible. TD, I bank with TD, never bank with TD. That's honestly the biggest reason I lost my money on the PayPal. And that's a mistake I know to never repeat, right? It's always dumb mistakes like this that I would make sure you never do. My Amex Platinum, it also got frozen because for me to unfreeze my Amex Platinum, I have to send money from Wise to TD, which takes a couple days, and then from TD I have to send it to Amex, which takes another couple days. So it takes maybe a week, 2 weeks, and then TD is like, it's really horrible, right? I have to keep calling them and I have to keep going to the bank and spending a couple days with them. But if you're with a proper bank like Chase Morgan or I believe Scotia Bank, if you're with a decent bank that doesn't freeze your accounts often, you're not gonna face the same issues I did. But I seriously suggest do not ever bank with TD because you will suffer with them if you do. The biggest, coolest thing about working with me and Yeslim is the fact that we're constantly learning, developing, and using AI and crypto to make more money and to also fully avoid paying taxes. Because as I said, Yeslim, this guy makes millions. He pays 0 fucking taxes. And so do I. Like, if you look at through my Instagram the past like 3 years, I've been traveling the world. I get Airbnbs in nice areas. I've been doing a lot of cool stuff. I don't pay a single cent of tax. Purely because like with crypto and with this business model, it's easy to just never pay tax and to just say fuck you CRA. With the IRS, I wouldn't try risking stuff with them, but with the CRA, with I believe most of the European Union, you can easily evade tax. I know as an Egyptian, I can easily live in Egypt and evade tax because I lived there for 3 months or 2 months and a half. I didn't have to deal with any tax problems. In Southeast Asia, most of those countries are still developing. They're kind of like third world. They're not gonna care enough to like chase you and tax you, right? So it's extremely easy as long as you don't like base yourself in Canada and the US for like 6 months or longer. It's extremely easy to evade taxes with this business model. So you literally make more and you spend less because of taxes, and like you get full freedom of your money. And also with all the profit you make, you can reinvest into your business's ads with new credit cards. And since you can process all the money with a new credit card, you also get a lot of free points. Like with me, traveling is basically free now because with all the money I made with this business model, I just kept investing it. Let me show you. I bought this like Louis Vuitton bag for like 3K5, and then inside of it, I also bought like a Louis V like wallet. This is a passport holder. I bought it for like 600, or it was 800. I bought another wallet for like 600 with Louis V. And I truly spend it because, well, first of all, with this business model, it's like, I do want to max out my credit cards. And then also I think stuff like this, it's like, you got a status max, right? To grow with your personal brand, but that's a whole different topic. But the coolest thing is, it helps you just keep reinvesting into your business and keep skyrocketing. Because with me, it's every time, I don't know why, it's always, I either gotta make a lot of money or have a lot of fun. When it comes to my business, I literally went from, whenever I decide, because my first 10K a month was 2-3 years ago, I was 19, working out of my mom's basement. Literally 1 month I decided, yo, I gotta scale ASAP. I hit 10K, I decided, yo, I'm gonna hit 10K a month. I literally hit it within like 20-30 days. And that was 10K Canadian, by the way, not USD. This month, in July, I literally hit 15K USD within only like a couple days of deciding. And if you count that, the fact that the PayPal account got frozen, we can say it's only 13K USD profit that I made this July, but which is still decent, right? For me, I'm just gonna repeat the same cycle until I hit 100K a month. For August, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to hit 20K a month profit in August using this business model. And truly the sky's the limit when it comes to this business. And the way I see it is like it has unlimited potential, and the downsides are very little. The worst case scenario, you might lose your Stripe account forever. But for you as a business owner, if you're established and stuff, it's gonna be very easy to just like switch payment processors to WAP, or WAP is shit, to be honest. Fanbases is a very good alternative. There's Square US. We help you with everything. We'll help you set up a US LLC if you need to. We'll help you set up a crypto. We'll help you find something other than Stripe, because truly Stripe is the most valuable if you run especially a high ticket program. Stripe hates high ticket products, by the way, because it's high risk. We will help you get you a different one that's more reliable for your business, while at the same time profiting off your Stripe. It's truly, I believe, my offer is one of the best offers in the game, because by the way, you're not buying anything from us. We are not selling anything from you. We literally beg you to help you make more money. Literally, the only main downside is the fact that you might get your Stripe account frozen. And some people get worried about taxes, right? Well, you don't have to worry about taxes, because if, let's say, you process 20K a day and you keep only 5% of it, right? Well, you're gonna send us the rest, the 95% that's ours. You are gonna send it to us, and then we're just gonna send you an invoice, and then you can claim on your taxes that you're only paying 5%, which means that like you're gonna only pay what the money you make. We're gonna make sure you're well taken care of. And also, I know hella business owners doing this stuff, and by doing this, you're connecting yourself with a lot of people, a lot of e-com owners and other business owners that are making 100, 200, 300, even $1 million a month. The biggest ones I've seen with my business partner Yeslam are ones making 30K a day, so roughly $1 million a month. That's another big benefit, the fact that you will expand your network without having to pay like $5,000 for a coaching program, or $12,000. I believe Client Ascension is $12,000. You literally get connections like that without having to pay that big price tag for a private community. But that's precisely how we can add you an extra $1,000 to $3,000 a day profit by just borrowing your Stripe account. You just gotta make sure that you respond fast to us and to your bank, and to always provide proof. If your bank like tells you that they need proof that like you're a legitimate business and that you still live at this address, you just send them a picture of your driving license. You just gotta prove stuff, minor stuff like that, and that's really it. So if that sounds interesting to you, just DM me from the first link in the description, and I hope you have a good one.